Hello guys and welcome back to the first match review here of the season. My name is James and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's 5-star performance over Hungerford Town. That's right, Reading ran out 5-1 winners over Hungerford in the first pre-season game of the season. Now obviously it's pre-season, it's all about fitness and trying new things out, so I wouldn't read too much into any of the performances and results if I'm being completely honest. Reading could have lost 2-0 today and I'll be honest, I wouldn't have really cared that much. But Reading did go ahead and play two starting 11s during this fixture. A couple of key players did miss this one out. Harvey Nibbs, Ben Elliott and new signing Paul O'Connor in particular are the ones that stand out to me. Matty Jacob as well did miss out in this fixture. He obviously only signed yesterday, so I kind of understand as to why he wasn't involved. But Reading did play two 11s during this game, one for the first half and one for the second. Now the first half 11 saw Joel Pereira starting off in goal. Kelvin Abrafa, Michael Stickland, Jarrell Dorset and Andre Garcia playing across the back four. Lewis Wing, Charlie Savage and Tyler Saki were in the middle, while Mamadi Kamara and Emmanuel Osho played out wide, and Basil Tuma was the sole striker. Now Tuma is obviously the only striker currently at the club, at least the only one for me off the top of my head that has made a senior appearance anyway. Tuma ended up scoring in this fixture. He's obviously electric with his pace and showed that during the first half. He scored in the 27th minute, while we saw Emmanuel Osho score just a couple of minutes later, and then a third was added just a couple of minutes later after that when Osho doubled his tally. Hungerford Town did get one back before the half-time break, Williams scoring for them. But in particular, I want to touch on some of the performances in the first half. I think Michael Stickland was seen as someone that played quite well. As well, obviously, Emmanuel Osho and Basil Tuma were two of the key performers in that first half. Andre Garcia played at left back today, but actually played more of an inverted role, so it was interesting to see Noel Hunt trying that out during this fixture. It worked quite well and Garcia had a decent enough performance. Lewis Wing obviously ran the show in the first half as expected whenever Lewis Wing is on a football pitch. Obviously last year we saw him absolutely dominate games for Reading, and once again in the first half here we saw Lewis Wing run the show. Now the second half saw a little bit of a rotated team as Reading made 11 changes. Matty Stevens ended up going in goal. We saw Andy Yeardom, a trialist, and Abraham Kanu as the two centre-backs, with John Ryan playing at left-back. Shea Spencer, Barrow and Borgnis were the three in midfield, while Ashqar Ahmed and Howard played out wide, while Okine-Peters was up front. At least that's what I'm guessing. That's their normal positions off the top of my head, so could have butchered that if I'm being honest. I wasn't there today, obviously just getting any information I can off of Twitter and Reading's official reports. The trialist has been confirmed as Yeboah Amankwa. Apologies if I butchered that. He is from Ghana, a former Man City youth player, played recently in Belgium, but Reading added to their goals from the first half in this second half. It was Ashqar Ahmed, after a high press from the Royals, robbed the Hungerford goalkeeper. If you can find it, it's a real comical goal. Don't know what the Hungerford goalkeeper is doing outside his box when there's some players inside his own box. But either way, he got robbed and Ashqar Ahmed put the ball in the back of the net. And then Okine-Peters capitalised after a free kick which was saved, and he ended up tapping it into the net. Now the second half did see some more players have some key performances. John Ryan, Shea Spencer and Ashqar Ahmed all having good halves. John Ryan is someone obviously we expect to have a really good season this year. He obviously was in the plans for this last season, but obviously unfortunately got injured during pre-season. He was heavily involved last year and looks to be heavily involved again this year, and hopefully we'll see him once again at left back for the Royals. Look, apart from that, there's not really too much else to touch upon if I'm being completely honest. Obviously wasn't at the game, so I can't touch on too much. Obviously only information I've got from Twitter. But again, it's only pre-season, so I wouldn't read massively into anything you see here. Either way, it's good to see the boys get their fitness up. It's good to see there was no injuries. Andy Yeardom had a decent second half performance as well. Again, against Hungerford, it's probably expected that Yeardom should have a good game. But either way, it's good to see Yeardom back playing more than 10 minutes anyway. Now, in terms of other things going on with Reading, Mark O'Mahony, I'm definitely butchering the name, but either way, a striker from Brighton last year was on loan at Portsmouth. 3 goals in 8 appearances last year for them. He has been linked with a move to Reading on loan, and it looks as if that's set to be confirmed. Reading once again beating strong League One opposition to get the signature of him. Reece Welsh as well is another player that has been linked with Reading. He's a centre-back for Everton. A couple of years ago, spent some time at Forest Green when they got relegated down to the National League, but hasn't really been involved in the Everton first team at all. So that potentially could be someone we bring in. Reading have been linked to a lot of centre-backs recently. There was another one as well, a Man City player who, again, off the top of my head, the name escapes me, and I know I'm going to remember it straight after off camera, but Reading seem to be going for some sort of theme at the minute. 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" centre-backs all seem to be what Reading are going after. So look, could be a theme of this Noel Hunt side is big, tall, classic centre-backs. Now that's going to be it for this one today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. My name's been James, and we'll see you all again probably for a news video in the next couple of days. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.